Welcome to the big nothingness between Black Friday and Christmas. Is there anything worth buying in the shop? Well, it is probably best to save your gold for a possible auction coming up. However, boxes like this with the 50,000 gold in it, it can fill up by playing the game and doing damage. These are one of the best ways to obtain gold in the game, and if you do need a lot of gold, I can recommend buying these right there. Now, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen is this golden ticket draw right here. There are 2,025 times you can play this draw right here, the final prize being 200,000 gold. So, can you get 200,000 gold? Well, if you spend about 2,400 euros, you will be able to get this entire draw, which encompasses about 1.2 million credits, because this is the golden ticket price right here, the undiscounted price, 6 euros for 5 tickets. That ends up at 2,400 euros you're going to have to pay, because that's the regular price for each ticket. Obviously, if you buy discounted tickets, you will still get ripped off massively, but it's going to be a little bit less, but the actual price is 2,400 euros. So that's great. Now, there is also the large snow bundle right here, and if you do ever get a snow globe, then get this one, because this is kind of the only way that these snow globes are actually going to be worth it. You also have 10,000 gold in here and a couple of crates, but they don't really do much most of the time. So the 10k gold and the snow globe are the main price right here. If you're looking to buy a snow globe, this is the one that you want to get. Why? Because the snow globes themselves cost 36 euros or roughly $35, which you can end up with a tier 7. And if you want to pay 36 euros for a tier 7, then that's a bad idea. So I would not recommend buying the snow globes on their own whatsoever. If you want to waste your money, buy this gold box, because you can basically get 5, maybe 6 very good tier 8s for this price right here. Or maybe 3 tier 10s even in the auction, depending on what's going to be in it, if it's going to be in the first place. So I definitely recommend the gold boxes over the snow globe, because in the snow globe you just get one tag. Battle pass, they used to be worth more, but if you can fill up the entire battle pass, if you fill up all the vaults, then it is still going to be worth it. Obviously, mystery boxes are a joke, don't buy that. Resources, individual offers, I mean, these are tiny, they're worth it. If you need them, get them. It's all credits, don't buy that. Then we have the Amex M449 twice, which is why I'm going to play it later. It costs 7.5k in both instances, and they applied 2 different pictures. I have no idea what this happened there. Neither of these 2 bundles is actually worth it, so this one has collector value, basically. If you want the Amex M449, the Kyler, if you want to collect those vehicles, then you can get it, but there isn't really any point in obtaining them, because while they are good, certainly not on the level of a T482, T77, Type 57, Tornwagen, something like that. The Kyler is also worse at making creds than the Löwe. Even though it's a better tank, it's worth it making creds. So, well, obviously the Super Pershing is not worth it whatsoever. Please don't buy these tickets. Just don't. Genuinely do not buy that. But do open your free containers, and don't buy these heavy tank containers or whatever, because the drop chances, of course, the containers are very cheap, but the drop chances are 0.08. So you ain't getting anything out of these. Trust me, you ain't getting nothing. So that said, it's a bit disappointing. I'm going to now play the MX M449, which is fine. It's not a top level premium tank, but it can be a worthy addition to the garage in combination with the Kyler, which I will be playing next game as well. Because 11k for those 2 vehicles is okay. Now, obviously, all the Black Friday bundles were much better, and I definitely recommend saving your gold for the auction, if there is one. But this is like more of a collector's bundle, right? If you want to collect vehicles, and you don't have these 2 vehicles, and you want them, then you get them. This is not a blanket recommendation, oh, you have to have these 2 vehicles. No, you don't. They are second-tier premium tanks that can add value to your garage, but don't necessarily do that, because T77, T482, there are much better vehicles out there. So, let's see. It's obviously not very great here. The mediums have all the control at the top, which is lovely. Now, gotta be careful with this guy. IS-2. I mean, I could jump the IS-2 here. I don't know where the VK4503 is, which I believe is also in the shop in a, like, offer. Don't buy that thing. It's a waste of space. So, I'm gonna see what we can do here. He just fired, so we can aim that in. There's the VK. Great. You can use the BZ as a little piece of extra armor here. It's not very friend-like, but that's what I'm doing. So, getting bounce off the STA-1. That is always lovely. And, let's see. Well, obviously, these guys might be very emboldened to push now, because they know that the enemy team, or, well, my team, is on this side of the map. So they're probably just gonna push through and send it. Gonna go for the HE here. Gonna hold him on the track. And that tank destroyer in the back obviously has no chance of getting the FTA, who has completely overextended himself, and that was a pretty bad play. I'm gonna have to be a bit careful, because the IS-2 does have 400 alpha damage, and that doesn't pen either. That's great. But it should be fine. Anyway, Forest Witch is gonna die. The WZ's probably still camping up on his perch. Yes, he is indeed, because now the BZ's dead. And now that means those two are the only vehicles left alive. Not much going on in this battle, really. Let's see what we can do. Obviously, the VK can pen the front of the tank. But, let's see what we can do right here. See, it's got 2.3k DPM. It's got 232 standard pen. So that's all perfectly fine. Obviously, it is also good for making creds, because when the standard pen's good, you don't have to fire premium rounds as much. End time accuracy, all within the margins of acceptability, right? 2 seconds aim time, 0.3 seconds, 0.33. It's all fine. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing to know about it. It just works. And 10 degrees of gun depression, you can go hull down. You have to watch out with the turret, though, because obviously the cupola on top of the vehicle is somewhat fragile and can be penned very easily by pretty much anything. The front plate is very sturdy. Tier 7s are going to struggle with it. Some Tier 8s are also going to struggle with it. Tier 8 premium rounds, Tier 9s, they're going to go straight through. So don't worry about that. Don't try to side scrape as well, because these side plates right here, they are very thin, and you will get penned in the side if you try to side scrape. So don't try that either. But generally, it is a fine tank. Now the Kyler, it's got lower DPM. It's got 10mm less penetration, but it has 40 more alpha damage than the M449. It's also quite a bit slower. Not by much, though. The acceleration is worse, but the top speed is gonna be the same. Now, the armor on the turret in this vehicle is very good. The cupola is tiny. It's also pretty much at the back of the turret. So if you use the also 8 degrees of gun depression of this vehicle, which is 2 less than the MX, if you use the 8 degrees of gun depression, then you can have a perfectly good hull down experience here. But what you can see right here, it turns like a boat, just like the MX M449 as well. But now let's see, I'm gonna go up there. A lot of medium action going on. We have one medium tank that pretends to be a tank destroyer. Alright, here we go. Maybe he just feels like a tank destroyer. Who knows? So let's see. Why is he staying peaked? You can't... Like, you can pen the lower plate, of course, but... What are you doing, Mr. Panzer 58? By the way, if you have the choice between the Panzer 58 and the tank certificate, if you get that offer, choose the tank certificate, because the Panzer 58 is shit. So, gonna be very, it's annoying. Right here, obviously peeking sideways is not a preferred method of doing that, but if I don't, then the SMV can shoot me. So, like, if I peek out too far here, the SMV can fire down at me, so it's pretty much a lose-lose. But, let's see. Let's gonna try to take a shot at this guy. It's obviously a bit of a problem, because wherever I go, if I go there, I'm gonna get shot from the top. If I go up, I'm gonna get shot from the bottom, so I'm just gonna have to wait it out here and see what's gonna happen. Pen the side of his turret, perhaps. But, I'm gonna wait out for one of those flanks to collapse, and then I can go for it. I'm just gonna shoot HE. 16 damage is better than no damage. Alright. Let's see. So he's peeking down. He is disappearing, which means I can take a shot at him right here. Beautiful. And that means I am now free to move through the middle. Which is great, because the WZ is also taking space over there. So I can go over here to this position. The STRV-81 can't stop me. Because he's one shot. I can just take him out easily. I can move over here. And then... Nope, never mind. That's a waste of time. So climbing up there is also going to be a waste of time. But the SMV has enough hit points to make it worth it. So try and get up here if we have enough power. 1,000 horsepower should be enough to get this massive piece of tank up here. This is not a realistic game after all. Because in reality, you could never do this. So... Luckily, this game is not very realistic, so we can just drive up here and take a shot at the SMV. So, standard heavy tank gameplay, nothing special. It is worth it if you're a tank collector, but if you're not, then stay away from it. Yeah, let's see if we can Get the kill here. There we go. 3k damage. And that concludes one of the most pointless shop reviews of all time. If you need the gold boxes, fill them up, buy the gold, everything else, save for the auction, if there will be one.